Hello. Okay, so after all I've said in the previous videos, I these days what I try to do, what I'm doing more and more is focusing not only on myself, but also I really try to imagine, visualize my goals. So me in the final steps of my goal. Okay, so really visualizing really what I want and how it will be when I have reached everything I want. And so first off, that's very interesting to have very precise goals in order to do that, because you can't visualize something precise if you don't have a precise goal first. So that's what is interesting. And then what I notice is that it's, even if that's just imagination, just visualization, so imagination, it's not that easy to do. It's almost difficult really to imagine me being in the when I have reached any goal. Okay, and why that? Well, first I realize that it's difficult, and that it's really crazy to notice that it's difficult to imagine something. And why is it difficult? Because in a way it annoys me, and it's like if I was not permitting myself to imagine me reaching my big goals. And that is really crazy, I think, because it's just your thought, just your imagination. It seems that anyone can imagine whatever he wants. It has no cost, no difficulties. And then, well, I challenge you to try to imagine you really, and to do it several times, just 3-4 times at different times in the day or in the week. Okay, to imagine for maybe just 2-3 minutes, that's enough. To imagine 1-2 minutes, that's enough even. And you reaching a very high goal, and imagining, feeling that, living it. Imagine all the details you can, and you in a scene where you have reached a big goal, where you are, whatever you want, whoever you want, and in whatever conditions you want, in whatever conditions you want. Okay, and well, that confirms for me. That confirms that the idea that a lot of things happens in our head first, in our imagination, in what we think, in what we believe, and all that conditions after what we live. And when I see how it can be difficult, challenging to imagine myself just reaching whatever goal I want to reach, I realize that inside, in all my belief and whatever is in my head, but there are really patterns and things that prevents me from looking at what I want, because in a way or another I don't allow me to believe it for whatever reasons it can be. So yeah, that's really a big proof, I think, for me to see that first make the things happen in your head, and then things can change. And so I'm focusing really on my imagination, trying to imagine, visualize myself in my goals. Okay. And that really forces my head to look at somewhere I realize I almost can't look if I don't force myself, if I don't focus myself on what I want to look. It's not at all automatic. It's if I don't put energy in what I want to look, well, I will never look at that, even if I think I am, because that's my goal. And that's not the case. So here's the thing, I really focus on visualizing, and then obviously a lot of things in my head obviously change when I put energy in looking at what I want and doing that, several times a day, if possible. I really try to do that only 1 minute or 2 here and then, 1 minute or 2. And when I have just a moment like that, I really try to imagine, to focus. And if I have difficulties to visualize, to have an image of me in whatever state I want, I state what I want, so that in my head it changes also things. I really get the habit of new statements. Okay, so it seems not that easy, and I will let you know how things change as long as I continue to visualize myself in really what I want. And as always, don't hesitate, try that, and let me your comments. Tell me how it is for you. Is it difficult to visualize yourself in something you really want, and to try to imagine everything you want in a scene where you are, and with everything you want, and doing that just a few times? Let me know that. It will be very interesting, and I will let you know how it happens for me. Thank you. I'll see you soon.